TikTok just dropped a 40-page PDF explaining how to grow on TikTok and the trend report for 2024. And I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you so that you guys don't have to read this long PDF. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and see the PDF, I just posted it in my free community down in the description. Go ahead and join there. I'll get you into the community and you guys can go ahead and see that PDF. All right, guys, this is the report right here, the What's Next 2024 Trend Report. And their little tagline is bravery that breaks through. And that's some pretty heavy marketing, but we'll take it. So they show the table of contents, and I'm going to go ahead and continue to scroll through this. Their trend methodology. So this is kind of how they found the trends, and they go ahead and show you how they did their research studies, the markets that they studied here, the source that they studied, and what was the methodology. They did like 20-minute online surveys and quantitative surveys and all these things to get all of this information here for you, okay? So what you're going to find in this report, the 3 TikTok trend forces to inspire creative campaigns. And this is a lot more for people that are trying to use it for business purposes. And although that's the case for people that are trying to grow on TikTok, they actually give you the trends. We just have to reverse engineer them. And that's what I'm going to do with you in this video here. So I'm going to show you how to reverse engineer some of the things that they say here as we go through this. So you're going to want to watch the whole thing. Now, the trend signals, you're going to learn about the TikTok communities, kind of what defines each trend force, and then the key takeaways, the research and community spotlights as we scroll through, right? So how do marketers keep up with the culture that's constantly evolving, right? And so this is the bravery that breaks through. And basically what they're saying is that in 2024, the TikTok community will ignite transformative mindset, creative bravery. Okay. And so they want people to really get out of their box, try things, and try to deliver value and be, also with some warmth and being a creator that people want to come back to over and over again. But it's going to mean stepping out of the boundaries of some of the things that you've been comfortable with on TikTok for the last 4 years or so. And the first thing that they talk about is curiosity peaked. And so what's happening right now, there have never been more options to discover new ideas and things, but also it's never been more taxing to find relevant answers. Okay. So what they think is coming next is hyper relevant, delightful, and useful content that piques every curiosity, even the ones that you didn't know that you had. So when we're looking about the curiosity peaked part, you're thinking about a lot of things, a lot of ways to go ahead and pique curiosity. And those would be understanding great hooks, understanding the importance of a good idea and framing that idea, right? And so having any idea that just comes to your mind as a creator and just making that video, that's not going to be good enough here in 2024. So what you're going to need to be able to do is think about several topics in your niche and then going ahead and packaging those ideas in a way that piques curiosity, is useful for people to see, even people that didn't know that that they needed to see the content that you create, right? And that's what they mean here by curiosity peaked. And so there are a lot, like I said, I have a lot of videos on that as well, the intros and all those kind of things, but you really want to focus on that. Now, one thing that I can say is if you think about YouTube, right? And you see YouTube thumbnails and you see titles and then you see the first line of a video, right? Those are things that pique curiosity enough for people to take action and watch the video. And so when you think about YouTube titles, that's one, looking at some YouTube titles is a good way to understand what a packaged idea means, right? Versus just something that comes to your head. Packaging the idea in a way that piques curiosity to get people who may not even know that they need it to watch it. That's exactly what this part means here. Users are 1.8 times more likely to agree that TikTok introduces them to new topics they didn't even know they liked, right? And so just because you talk about something very niche doesn't mean that somebody might not, they might like it. They just have never been introduced to it before. And they maybe haven't been introduced to the way that you present it. And they might like you for that. So like I said, big opportunities here on TikTok. And then the first trend signal is serendipitous scrolling, right? Traditional search results spit out straightforward answers, right? If you think like a Google search engine or YouTube, when they just spit out a straight answer. But what they think is coming next is a discovery that is immersive and dynamic, powered by entertaining guidance from creators and brands, right? So thinking about as people are scrolling through, what are some things that are interesting, entertaining, that are more immersive, they're more dynamic in the way that you go ahead and create that content, instead of just being straightforward and, with a simple answer. There are more dynamic, immersive ways that they're talking about to entertain and educate at the same time. Okay. And so I don't read a lot of these things. I read through them, but they didn't really do much. So I'm just going to kind of cover the marketer takeaway, because that's the thing that's going to help you guys probably the most. Spark action during your audience's discovery journey on TikTok by digging into the communities they're already part of and create content that aligns with their needs and curiosity. So basically what they're saying, the marketer takeaway here, is to integrate your content and integrate your ideas and package them in a way that can inspire communities that are already in TikTok, right? So that's a really important thing. And then the other trend signal here is entertainment without borders. Basically, they're saying entertainment limited by geography barriers and cultural gatekeepers. That's kind of what's happening. But what they want to see next, and what's happening now, is that you can kind of break that mold and unlock new channels for entertainment and influence, worldwide, right? And so popular trends can be more than in just your country or just in your language, right? Some TikTok is, the language of TikTok can go even beyond our speaking language. So that's what they're saying there as well. The marketer takeaway here: brands should proudly spotlight unique nuances of their culture, business, or connection, right, to resonate with a diverse audience. So, and you guys understand basically what that means. So that's pretty simple. Okay. And so they have a couple case studies here. And some of the creative solutions as well. This is for advertising, not so much that I want to talk about. So the next thing, the second part, is storytelling unhinged. And you guys have seen a lot of that content lately on TikTok, and it's a lot of people to get ready with me, except this time I'm going to be breaking up with my cheating boyfriend, right? And so those storytelling unhinged type of things are going to be popular on TikTok. So what they think is happening right now, from the structures to its character, storytelling has become predictable, less relevant, and therefore skippable, okay? But what they're thinking is coming next here is unpredictable collective stories with a flair that have no beginning, middle, and end, giving users vested interest in how the story transpires. So just like I talked about with that Get Ready With Me. So instead of just a regular Get Ready With Me video that probably worked 2, 3, 4 years ago, adding that context to breaking up with my cheating boyfriend, or, talking about what happened on their first date or something like that. An example there is where it's a little more unhinged, it's a little more unpredictable, right? But your interest is piqued, your curiosity is piqued about that subject, and then the part of the storytelling unhinged part is what they're speaking here. So 1.4 times intriguing narratives, structures guide viewers past the first few seconds. Okay. And just a good thing to remember here too, if you're a business or if you're posting really, really high quality content, remember this isn't TV, it's culture. It means that your brand is now stepping into a creator space. You have to look and feel like that. The instant you try to really, really script it, it's over. Right. And so, this doesn't mean like scripting your videos is bad, right? But it means like it feels like a TV show. And a lot of older, people, businesses try to make it feel like TV, but that's not what this is. This is so much more of a creative culture. Okay. So this trend signal number 1, community fueled storytelling. Predictable stories grab less attention, but what they think is next is the collaborative spirit of TikTok is reinventing the typical story arcs, leading to disruptive narrative formats. Okay. Capture their attention while also inspiring them to join in on the fun. Okay. Community storytelling is going to be a big thing. So the big marketer takeaway here is give the community an equal seat to the table to shape your brand's identity and narrative. So basically what they're saying is interact with your community, right? And listen to comments and respond to comments and enjoy, your community speaking to you, and, give them the ability to help fuel your storytelling, fuel your creative, right? So that's what they want here with that part. And then stay true to the Delulu. And basically what this is it pretty much wants the spark of lightheartedness and in the midst of this overwhelming reality. So basically what it's trying to tell you is they want you to inspire and bring positive vibes, happiness, right? And that's what they want: lightheartedness, manifesting the confidence, right? And so that's what they mean by stay true to the Delulu, right? build accessible connections with audiences around joy, confidence, and comfort. Okay, essentially as a creator, be their friend, be the friend that they can go to on TikTok and go there and feel warm and get value, either in the form of entertainment, education, inspiration, right? That's what they want you to do there. Okay, and so they have some of these community spotlights about storytelling unhinged, the types of people that order at Chipotle. These are more for businesses though. Some case studies here and some creative solutions, and then the advertisement solution. Okay. Now let's get to the third part here. Bridging the trust gap. And that's something I've been talking about for months on end here is I think, in my opinion, TikTok has a trust score for your account. And your trust score has to do with several things. The way that you use TikTok, right? You create and you use TikTok like a normal user. Because if you don't use TikTok like a normal user, you start to look like spam or a bot, right? If you're only doing one thing and you're only doing the creating part, you're breaking TikTok's flywheel. And TikTok's flywheel is checking out the For You page, seeing what's there, and then as a creator, doing some sort of trend or doing, making your content creation, then looking back on the For You page again and seeing what's trending, seeing what's hot, the audios and all of that. And it's just this circular flywheel that they've built. And that's how they built TikTok to such a big platform. And so when you're becoming a user and doing those things, getting trusted by TikTok is a big thing. Another way that they trust you is, are you consistent with your content, and is your content consistently about a similar thing? Because if they're going to show you to more people, they want to be able to trust you and trust that you're going to deliver on the things that people are looking for, right? So if you can't deliver on those things, if you talk about random things, they don't know who to show you to, right? They don't know who you're bringing value to. Okay. But if you bring value to a certain person or a certain type of person in a certain niche, they can show you to more people like that. Okay. And so those kind of things where you're seeing views that are stuck at 200 or 300 views, if people are getting 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 baseline views because they know TikTok knows exactly what you're about. So I'm a huge proponent of TikTok understanding and knowing whether your account is trusted or not by other people. So, like I said, I could go on about that forever. I talk a little bit more about that in the free community as well if you guys want to go ahead and join that in my description. Now, what they think is happening is brands are unsure how to meet growing consumer expectations for trust and transparency, okay? Because like we talked about before, a lot of them make TV-style commercials, and they're just not sure how to actually make creative that connects. Now, for people on TikTok are unlocking deeper consumer trust and influence through actively listening and growing together with their audience, right? And we talked about that earlier as well, listening to your community, getting some of their input, understanding some of the things that they want and need, their problems and the solutions that they need. That's how you connect. Unlocking deeper consumer trust is being able to answer those questions, being able to be that person, that company, that account of value to that certain person, right? If you can continue to bring some sort of competence and value, and then you can go ahead and bring warmth, that's building trust, competence and warmth, right? You want them to come back to you. You want them to feel familiar with you, and you want to be able to do this over and over again. That's how you build and bridge this trust gap, right? And so let's talk TikTok, right? It's easy to feel like you could never keep up with the cultural conversations or the latest trends. But what's next? Building trust with their audience through relevant cultural lingo cultivated on TikTok. So basically what they're saying is use TikTok lingo, use TikTok trends and those kind of things in order to be able to speak to people in a certain community, right? Use their language. That's essentially what they're saying. Understanding and adapting the language of our platform. That's exactly what they want you to do, okay? So I think one of the examples here was an accountant using like girl math, right? So girl math is a big thing. But like I said, or Riz, right? If you've ever heard of Riz, short for charisma, like, guys having charisma, having that Riz, right? So, but using those kind of things in order to incorporate into whatever niche that you use, right? So depending on what people use. Okay. The next thing here is trend signal number 2 here in this part is the trust the For You page process. Basically, what they're saying, people feeling skeptical that TikTok, to come with TikTok with aspirational, over-polished messaging, right? And so people come with content that is super polished or super boring, those kind of things. But what they think you should do is the trust on TikTok stems from community's openness to share and receive feedback. Okay. And so trusting that For You page process, that if you go ahead and create content, is going to find, TikTok's going to have it find the right people. Okay. It's going to find the perfect person, the perfect group for your content. Tap into the cultivating network of creators who naturally fit in with and can share honest connection to your brand to build relatability and influence. Okay. So if you guys want to go ahead and get this PDF for yourself, go ahead and go to the community. It's free in my community. You guys can go ahead and download it there. I would love to see you in there. And if you want to continue to learn more about TikTok, make sure you watch this video right here.